Have you ever felt it stirring deep within your soul? A profound, almost sacred exhaustion that no amount of sleep can ever seem to cure? It is a quiet, persistent, holy yearning for a truth that the deafening, frantic noise of the modern world can no longer provide. If this sacred ache has found you, if this feeling has resonated in the deepest, most hidden chambers of your heart, then understand with absolute certainty that you are not going mad, and you are most certainly not alone. This is the first tender whisper of your grand awakening. It is a divine summons, a signal transmitted directly from your higher self, announcing that your spirit is ready to finally journey home. If this message is reaching you now, in this very moment, know that it is a divine appointment, meticulously orchestrated by a universe that loves you. Acknowledge this sacred alignment, this holy intersection of time and soul, and declare your readiness to the cosmos by typing "I am ready" or the divine frequency of 777 in the comments below. Let this simple act be your covenant, your first conscious step on a journey of profound and beautiful remembrance. There is a force in this universe far more potent than your lineage, your education, or the circumstances of your birth. It is the divine power of belief. Until you consciously possess it, until you wield it with intention, all your magnificent potential sleeps like a chained lion. Belief is not a fragile wish. It is not a passive hope. It is the unwavering inner knowing that what your soul desires is not just possible, but is already a vibrational reality waiting for you to claim it. When you believe with this unshakable certainty, when your heart and your mind align in a holy agreement with your desired future, you tap into the hidden cosmic engine of all creation. Belief does not merely change what you do. It profoundly transforms who you are. It elevates the very frequency of your identity until the impossible itself bows before the sacred fire of your conviction. You must understand this divine truth. Most souls drift through their lives with a weakened, diluted intention. They wish for things to change. They hope for a breakthrough, but they do not truly believe. They are like ships with magnificent sails, waiting for a wind that they themselves have the power to summon. The sacred texts remind us that faith is the art of calling those things which are not as though they were. This is not mere poetry. It is a fundamental law of the mind, a universal principle of creation. The soul who acts from a place of as if it already is will always outperform the soul who waits for external proof before they commit. Your belief must precede the evidence. The evidence does not build your belief. Your powerful, focused belief is what commands the evidence to appear. You must become the sovereign guardian of your own mind. Take divine possession of it. Dominate it with love. Train it with discipline. You must stand as a vigilant watchman at the gates of your thoughts, refusing to entertain the phantoms of doubt, the shadows of fear, or the whispers of hesitation. These are not your truth. They are lies, smoke, illusions that instantly dissolve the moment you shine the brilliant spotlight of your unwavering belief upon them. The world will offer you 1,000 reasons to stop, to wait, to shrink back into the familiar, but you must, with the full authority of your spirit, reject them all. You must declare, "I do not negotiate with my destiny." For what is truly real is not what your five senses perceive. It is what you, as a divine creator, decide to make real. Your belief is the sacred seed. Your daily conscious actions are the holy water. Your unwavering persistence is the nurturing sunlight. Together, these elements create a magnificent harvest that others, from their limited perspective, may call miraculous. But you will know the truth. You knew it was coming all along. This is not a fanciful fantasy. It is a divine principle. It is the same immutable law that has governed every single man or woman of significance who has ever risen from the ashes of nothing to the heights of greatness. Nurture your belief. Feed it daily with empowering thoughts. Speak to it with words of power. Visualize it with the clarity of a seer. Act on it with the courage of a warrior. Protect it from the poisonous weeds of cynicism and the thorny vines of delay. Because when your belief becomes strong enough, when it becomes your dominant vibration, nothing in this universe can stand against it. No circumstance, no setback, no opposition. A soul powered by pure belief is an unstoppable force of nature. And one day, when the world stares in absolute wonder at the magnificent reality you have become, you will smile. Not with pride, but with the deep, peaceful recognition of a creator who knew, long before anyone else, that it was always meant to be. because you dared to believe. You cannot possibly achieve a life of greatness while you are unconsciously expecting a reality of failure. That is not merely a psychological statement, it is a profound spiritual law. No soul can ever rise higher than the most dominant thoughts they allow to occupy the sacred space of their mind. If you secretly, deep down, expect to lose, you will, by universal law, manifest loss. If you prepare for the energy of defeat in the quiet chambers of your heart, no amount of brilliant strategy or hard work can rescue you from that vibration. The mind, once it has been conditioned to fear, to doubt, to see insurmountable obstacles instead of divine opportunities, will subtly and expertly sabotage every single chance you have for a breakthrough. And this sabotage is not a loud, dramatic event. It is quiet. It is insidious. It appears in the form of hesitation. It masquerades as procrastination. It justifies itself with 1,000 logical-sounding excuses. You will call it being realistic or practical, but in truth it is fear wearing a clever disguise. But here is the most liberating truth you can ever embrace. Just as your mind was trained, programmed, and conditioned to doubt, it can be retrained, reprogrammed, and reconditioned to expect victory. Your mind is not a fixed, static entity. It is a fertile, vibrant garden, and it will grow whatever seeds you choose to plant within it. The ancient scriptures declare, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." This is not beautiful poetry. This is cosmic law. Your mind is the sacred factory of your fate. What you feed it will inevitably manifest as your lived experience. If you feed it a steady diet of fear, you will harvest a life of failure. But if you feed it with unwavering faith, you will witness magnificent possibilities stretch out before you like a glorious sunrise after a long, dark night. So each morning, you must take divine possession of your mind before the world has a chance to lay its chaotic claims upon it. Speak your vision aloud. Command your inner world with love and authority before the outer world can impose its deafening noise upon you. See yourself in your mind's eye as already victorious, already walking through the golden doors you once believed were locked. You must begin to think in the language of abundance, not scarcity. Speak the vocabulary of potential, not of limits. Expect goodness. Prepare for progress. Let no negative, disempowering image occupy the sacred canvas of your imagination, because whatever holds the sustained focus of your attention is what shapes the clay of your future. Challenges will come. That is a divine guarantee. But you must rewire your perception of them. Challenges are not stop signs on your journey. They are sacred stepping stones. They are not proof that you should turn back. They are divine tests designed to qualify you for the next higher level of your existence. The very moment you begin to believe that the tide of your life can turn, the universe begins to lovingly align itself with that powerful expectation. Circumstances shift in mysterious ways. The right people seem to appear out of nowhere. Unexpected opportunities emerge, not because they weren't there before, but because now your spiritual eyes have been trained to see them. The great current of life begins to flow in your favor when your belief becomes stronger and more dominant than your fear. And that, my friend, is not luck. That is the divine law of cause and effect. You must become the sovereign architect of your inner world. Construct a vision so strong, so clear, so vibrant, that no temporary defeat, no matter how painful, can ever shake its foundation. You must discipline your thoughts. Monitor them like a vigilant watchman at the city gates. Lovingly refuse to let the energies of mediocrity, comparison, or self-pity take root in your sacred soil. Every single day is a battle for your belief, and every single time you consciously choose to expect better, you elevate your vibration and rise higher. You must train your mind to expect elevation, and that elevation will inevitably find you. This is the secret of the great achievers, the victors, the giants of history. They mastered their internal climate, even when the external weather screamed failure. They saw sunshine when the sky was gray. They acted from a consciousness of wealth even when their pockets were empty. And because they believed differently, they lived differently. So I ask you, what do you truly expect from life? What do you see when you close your eyes and dream? Do you see a future that is worth fighting for? Then you must begin to think like it, speak like it, and walk like it. You must refuse to entertain any version of reality that contradicts your divine vision, for your life will always, and without fail, follow the direction of your most dominant thoughts. Victory does not visit the doubter. It belongs to the one who expects it, who plans for it, and who refuses to settle for anything less until it is their living reality. the great current of life is waiting. Believe and watch it carry you to heights you once only dreamed were possible. The average soul treats their goals like fragile wishes, delicate ideas that are easily broken by the first sign of delay, discomfort, or distraction. They say, "I want," but their energy does not resonate with the frequency of "I will." They wait passively for ideal conditions, for a sign from the heavens, for external validation. But you must be different. If you are to rise, if you are to lead a life of divine power and lasting legacy, then your goals must become your sacred law, non-negotiable, unbreakable, final. You must treat your highest objective not as a hopeful dream, but as a divine command that you have issued to both yourself and the universe, a command that by cosmic law cannot return to you void. You are not here to beg the world for its favor. You are here to declare your desired outcome and to back that declaration with an unshakable, fiery conviction. Success is not given to the soul who merely hopes. It is earned by the one who decides. Your mind must be made up so completely, so finely, that even if great storms arise or mighty obstacles stand tall, you walk forward without even blinking. Your decision must burn within you like a divine, eternal fire, unquenchable, untamed, and utterly unstoppable. This is the very energy of creation itself. The sacred texts tell us that the divine did not suggest to Moses that he wait for the sea to part. He commanded him to go forward. It was only after Moses took the first step of obedient action that the waters miraculously split. So it is with your life. The path does not magically appear before your step. It appears because of your step. Most people wait to see the entire staircase before they are willing to take the first step, but divine power belongs to the one who has the courage to climb with unwavering faith in their feet. Do not wait. Move. Even when the road ahead looks like a raging ocean, you must now do the same. Carry yourself not as someone who is hoping for a transformation, but as someone who is already in the powerful process of becoming the future you envision. Your walk must change. Your voice must deepen with a quiet certainty. Your eyes must reflect the fire of a soul that has made a final decision. When you speak, the world should hear the unmistakable echo of inevitability. When you move, the very ground beneath your feet should sense your divine purpose. This is how kings and queens of spirit are forged. Too many dreamers fail not because their goals are too high, but because their belief is far too low. They negotiate with their goals. They allow trivial things to interfere. But when a goal becomes your sacred law, there are no off days. There are no back doors. There is only forward, only fire, only the finish line. Write your vision on the sacred tablet of your heart. Burn it into the very fabric of your daily habits. Protect it with the boundaries you set around your time. Water it with consistent, inspired action. And then watch with awe as doors begin to open that no logic can explain. Watch how the right people seem to appear out of thin air. Watch how unexpected opportunities arise. Watch how divine favor begins to flow to you, not because you are lucky, but because the universe always and without fail obeys the soul who believes with enough conviction to move. Make your highest goal your sacred law. Let it become the very core of your identity. And once it does, no force on this earth or in any other realm can stop its glorious fulfillment. No soul, regardless of their innate talent or limitless potential, is strong enough to sustain a powerful belief in themselves while they are drowning in an ocean of other people's doubt. You may possess a vision so pure, so potent, that it has the power to ignite mountains, but if you place that fragile flame in a toxic, cynical atmosphere, it will be extinguished before it ever has a chance to truly burn. Your environment is never neutral. It is either lovingly lifting you to a higher vibration, or it is subtly, quietly lowering you. It is either feeding your sacred belief, or it is slowly, insidiously bleeding it dry. That is why you must guard your environment as fiercely as a king guards his sacred throne. You are the sovereign gatekeeper of your own mind, and every word you hear, every opinion you entertain, every person you choose to associate with, enters your mental fortress either as a divine builder or a destructive breaker. The sacred scriptures warn us plainly, bad company corrupts good character. This is not merely a moral warning. It is a profound strategic one. For just as the wrong company can erode the very foundation of your belief, the right company can multiply it exponentially. The words you choose to absorb today will inevitably echo as your actions tomorrow. Your belief does not exist in a sterile vacuum. It is shaped, molded, and influenced by the conversations you have, the energetic frequencies you absorb, and the vibrational standards of those you spend the most time with. This is why you must consciously, deliberately, and ruthlessly choose your tribe. Surround yourself with visionaries, with souls who speak to your divine purpose, not your limiting past. Choose people who fan your sacred flame, not those who try to smother it with their own fear. If those in your immediate proximity do not challenge your doubts and call forth your innate greatness, they are not your allies. They are energetic liabilities to your divine mission. Audit your environment with the precision of a master jeweler. If someone in your life consistently plants seeds of fear, doubt, or limitation in the sacred soil of your mind, they are poisoning your garden. You must remove them with love, but with absolute finality. Then you must consciously replace them with souls who speak the high vibrational language of elevation. Seek out those who think bigger, who act with boldness, who see the unseen with the eyes of faith, and who move through the world as if destiny is their birthright. For iron truly sharpens iron, and your belief will never grow to its fullest, most magnificent strength in isolation. You need the resonance of a shared vision. You need voices that echo your own deepest conviction. You need people who will say, "Let's go higher," when your own mind whispers, "Maybe we should stop." Because belief is not only an internal sacred fire, it is a collective, magnificent flame. It becomes infinitely stronger when other souls breathe their life and their light into it. Plant yourself in rich, fertile soil. Place yourself in communities of courage, in rooms where your own dreams feel small, not because they are insignificant, but because those around you are dreaming even bigger. Your tribe is your energetic multiplier. Their presence becomes your momentum. Their words become your armor. Their standards become your new expectations. And once you are firmly and lovingly rooted in the right environment, belief becomes your natural state. It no longer has to be forced or summoned with great effort. It becomes your default energetic setting. And from that high vibrational place, there is no mountain too high to climb, no goal too bold to achieve. Because now your belief is not just your own, it has become ours. And a collective, unified belief moves with greater speed and force than any obstacle that could ever stand in its way. Your story is not what happened to you, it is how you choose to tell what happened to you. Every event, every heartbreak, every closed door is not your fixed identity. It is sacred raw material. And like any raw material, its divine power lies not in what it is, but in what you, as a master alchemist, choose to make of it. Most people wear their pain like a heavy, dark prison sentence. They rehearse it, they replay it, they relive it until its sorrowful narrative defines the very essence of who they are. But the champions, the builders, the visionaries of this world do something radically different. They take the molten metal of their wounds and forge it into the unshakable steel of wisdom. They stop asking, "Why me?" And they begin to ask, "What now? What for?" You must understand this sacred truth. Your past is not a final verdict. It is a divine classroom. Every failure you endured, every betrayal you survived, every frustrating delay you hated was not there to destroy you. It was there to develop you. The sacred texts tell the story of Joseph, who, when facing the very brothers who had sold him into slavery, declared, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." That is not an act of denial. It is an act of divine dominion. It is the profound power to reinterpret your scars, to pull shimmering gold from the cold gray ash of your past. Your pain is not your enemy. It is the holy sculptor of your divine purpose. You must stop rehearsing your pain. You must start harvesting the sacred purpose that was hidden within it. If you only see what you have lost, you will forever miss what you have gained: strength, discernment, patience, clarity. These are the rare, precious treasures that are forged only in the hottest fires of adversity. Your story gains immense power the moment you stop narrating it with the voice of self-pity and start narrating it with the voice of divine perspective. You were not buried by your challenges, you were planted. Your setbacks do not disqualify you from your destiny. If you choose to read them rightly, they qualify you for it. The past is not a heavy chain that binds you. It is a divine blueprint, and it is waiting for you to reread it with new, enlightened eyes, to reinterpret its meaning, to reclaim its hidden value. If you continue to see every hardship as a punishment, you will never be able to rise. But if you begin to see every trial as sacred preparation, you will step into your future with a power that is truly breathtaking. You are not the passive product of what happened to you. You are the sovereign architect of what comes next. You must learn to carry your history not as an open wound, but as a sharpened weapon. Let your scars speak not of your defeat, but of your incredible endurance. Let your history become your platform, not your prison. The greatest leaders in human history did not rise to prominence because they were untouched by pain. They rose because they had the wisdom to redeem their pain. They gave a new, empowering language to their old, painful events. They wrote a new, victorious meaning over their old, sorrowful memories. You must now do the same. Begin to bless your past. Speak words of life over it. Say, that experience taught me, that trial trained me, that heartbreak was necessary for my becoming. Because when you bless your past, your future opens with an abundance of grace. The celestial gates swing wide, the energetic atmosphere around you shifts, and you begin to move, not with the heavy weight of regret, but with the soaring lightness of revelation. Your story is a sword of light. Wield it. Let your testimony be a glorious declaration that your pain was never the end of your story. It was only the sacred beginning of your true power. Your belief is like a divine muscle. It does not grow in the soft comfort of ease, but under the holy pressure of resistance. Without challenge, your faith remains flabby, soft, and utterly untested. It may sound good in your affirmations and speeches, but it will have no real strength when you are in the heat of battle. Just as a physical muscle must be torn before it can be rebuilt stronger, your belief must be tested by fire before it can become truly unshakable. And this is not a punishment from the universe, it is sacred preparation. The scriptures tell us plainly, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. Your trials are not barriers to your destiny. They are the very bridges that lead you to it. We must stop viewing challenge as something to be feared and avoided. It is the sacred gymnasium of the soul. Every hardship, every delay, every disappointment is a holy weight that, when lifted with consciousness, builds an inner might that cannot be defeated. Your challenges are your divine sculptor. Let them carve away your doubts. Let them chisel away your excuses. Let them define your sharp edges and reveal the luminous essence of your spirit. The very pressure you are currently resisting is the pressure that has been divinely designed to reveal the true magnitude of your power. When the world pushes you back, you must learn to push forward with even greater faith. When your plans seem to collapse, you must build them again, but this time smarter. The ultimate test of your belief is not in how loudly you declare it when things are going your way, but in how firmly you choose to stand when everything around you begins to shake. Faith that only functions in fair weather is not true faith. It is a fleeting fantasy. But a belief that holds its ground in the heart of the storm becomes utterly invincible. When life's pressure comes, let it press you more deeply into your purpose. When frustrating delays appear, let them deepen the well of your discipline. When fierce opposition rises against you, let it refine the brilliance of your strategy. Each trial becomes your personal trainer. Each hardship becomes your sacred hammer. And you become forged like the finest steel. Your belief does not become unstoppable because it somehow avoids the fire. It becomes unstoppable because it has walked through the fire and emerged not just intact but utterly transformed. The souls who achieve true greatness are not those who are blessed with easy paths, but those who have learned the sacred alchemy of turning immense pressure into incredible progress. They do not just survive their challenges, they are transformed by them. So the next time you face a wall, do not retreat. Let that obstacle become your holy exercise. Let that resistance become your sacred routine. You are not losing time when you are facing difficulty. You are building the very spiritual traits that are required for you to fulfill your destiny. Every great structure requires deep, unshakable foundations, and foundations are always built through immense force and pressure. Let every trial be a loving reminder of the magnificent being you are becoming. Let every hardship remind you that true belief is not a passive state. It is an active, gritty, determined force. You are not meant to be crushed by life. You are meant to conquer it, but only if you have the courage to embrace the sacred pressure that molds you. Let every setback become the setup for your glorious comeback. Let every trial become your proving ground. And when it is over, let the world see a version of you that could only have been built in the heart of the fire, because a belief, when it has been tested by fire, becomes an undeniable truth. And a truth, once it is fully embodied, becomes your divine power. Your words are not just fleeting sounds that pass into the air. They are vibrational seeds that shape the very fabric of your reality. Every single sentence you speak carries immense creative power. With every word, you are either lovingly watering the garden of your belief or you are carelessly poisoning it. Every time you open your mouth, you are building the energetic house you will one day live in. This is not a poetic exaggeration. It is a fundamental law of the universe. The scriptures declare, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Your words do not just describe your life, they actively design it. Most people speak casually, carelessly, unconsciously. They complain, they self-criticize, they verbalize defeat, and then they stand back in wonder as their life mirrors their deepest fears more than their highest faith. But your speech is a perfect mirror of your mind. What you consistently say reveals what you consistently believe, and what you believe becomes the divine blueprint for your behavior. So ask yourself, what are you saying when you speak of your future? Do you speak with the bold authority of a creator, or with the trembling dread of a victim? When you describe yourself, do you use the high vibrational language of strength or the low vibrational language of self-sabotage? You cannot possibly expect to build a magnificent palace with the vocabulary of a prisoner. Your words must be elevated to match the frequency of your vision. You must learn to speak up, not down. Speak forward, not backward. You must begin to speak life into your vision. Say it aloud. I am chosen for this. I am perfectly prepared. I am rising now. Let these words become your sacred rhythm, your daily declaration of truth. Let them echo in the holy chambers of your mind until your very actions begin to align with your speech, because words, charged with belief, do not return empty. They create what they were sent to build. Speak with divine precision. Speak with holy purpose. Do not speak based on how things currently look. Speak based on how you are determined they will be. You must learn to say what you want until you see what you say. This is not an act of delusion. It is an act of supreme discipline. It is the ancient, sacred art of calling things forth with unwavering faith. This is how your belief is reinforced, not just by your silent thoughts, but by your spoken truth. When you declare, I am capable, you are not lying to yourself. You are training yourself. When you say, I am qualified, you are not pretending. You are aligning your energy with a higher reality, for your words shape your identity, and your identity shapes your destiny. You must lovingly but firmly reject the language of limitation. Cut off the vocabulary of defeat from your life. Remove phrases like, I can't, I never, and I'm not good at from your sacred speech. Replace them with, I am learning, I am becoming, and I was made for this. Speak as though the heavens themselves are listening, because they are. Speak as though your every word matters, because it does. You are not powerless. You are not waiting on the world to grant you permission to be great. Your tongue is the divine pen of your own prophecy. What you consistently declare becomes what you eventually experience. So let today mark a profound shift from casual, unconscious speech to creative, conscious command, from small talk to spiritual strategy, from reaction to declaration. Because once your words begin to rise, your world cannot possibly stay the same. Speak life, speak strength, speak victory, and keep speaking it, with love and with fire, until what you say becomes what you see. There is a profound and sacred difference between your goal and your method. Your goal is your North Star. It must be fixed, crystal clear, and utterly unshakable. But the method, the path you choose to take to reach that star, must be as fluid, as flexible, and as adaptable as water. Too many souls confuse these two. When one of their plans fails, they tragically abandon their dream. When one door closes in their face, they assume their entire vision was wrong. But destiny is not a straight, paved highway. It is a wild, winding road, and your ability to adapt your course without losing your direction is what will determine how far you travel. Your method may need to change 100 times, but your sacred goal should remain untouched. If one route closes, find another. If one door locks, knock on the next. If the map you are holding tears, you must have the courage to draw a new one, but never ever lose sight of the divine treasure you are seeking. You must learn to bend without ever breaking. A great tree that refuses to sway in the storm will inevitably snap. But a tree that has learned to lean with the wind, while its roots remain deep and firm, will always remain standing. So it is with your divine purpose. Rigidity in your vision is a sign of strength, but rigidity in your process is a sign of folly. The world is in a constant state of flux. You must learn to shift with it. What worked for you yesterday may not work for you today. What was once your greatest strength may now be an obsolete strategy. Divine wisdom is the ability to discern the difference. Never confuse a detour with a dead end. Just because life takes you in a circle does not mean you are lost. Sometimes the long way around becomes the right way, teaching you lessons you could not have learned otherwise. What matters is not how straight your path is, but how steady your spirit remains. Keep your inner eye fixed on the mountaintop, even if the trail disappears completely beneath your feet. Your vision will carry you when your visibility is gone. Build your plans with fierce determination, but walk your path with loving humility. Be prepared to abandon your methods, but never your mission. Be quick to shift your tactics, but never your target. And above all, remain deeply rooted in your why, even as you endlessly modify the how. This is the sacred strategy of all champions. An absolute clarity of purpose, combined with a beautiful flexibility of approach. This flexibility is not a sign of weakness. It is wisdom in motion. It is a strength that knows how to move. The most dangerous thing you can possibly do is to cling to a broken plan out of sheer pride. You must adjust, rethink, and rebuild, not because your goal has failed, but because you are wise enough to evolve with the ever-changing terrain of life. So as you pursue your sacred purpose, remember this: the method is always the servant, never the master. Let your dreams stand like a mighty mountain. Let your methods flow like a powerful river. And no matter how often your path twists and turns, never ever question your divine destination. Stay fixed in your goal, stay fluid in your method, and you will arrive stronger, wiser, and exactly where you were always meant to be. Everything in your life, without exception, begins with a decision. Not a condition, but a sovereign decision. Far too many souls wait passively for the perfect time, the right mood, or the ideal circumstances to finally take action. But life does not reward hesitation. It rewards clarity. It rewards boldness. The sacred texts issue a divine command. I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing, therefore choose life. This is not a gentle suggestion. It is a powerful call to reclaim your divine power, because your choice is the very steering wheel of your destiny. Where your life goes next is not up to luck. It is up to what you decide right now. People do not fail because they lack talent. Most fail because they never truly, fully decided to succeed. They hovered. They postponed. They gave themselves too many options. And indecision, though it may feel safe in the moment, is the slowest and most painful form of self-destruction. Every dream you choose to delay becomes a sacred seed that never has the chance to grow. Every excuse you choose to entertain becomes another brick in the wall that blocks your magnificent future. But the sacred moment you choose, truly and fully choose, everything in your universe begins to shift. Your moment of decision is your moment of divine power. That is when the cosmic tides begin to turn in your favor. That is when divine momentum ignites. That is when the universe, its circumstances, and its people begin to respond to your newfound internal authority. It is not your external resources that make the ultimate difference. It is your internal resolve. The world always honors the man or woman who moves with unshakable conviction. You must now do the same. Choose your standard. What will you no longer tolerate from yourself or others? What level of excellence will you now demand from your every action? Choose your direction. Where are you truly going, and what is so important that it is worth giving your entire life to? Choose, right now, to cut off every excuse, every lie that tells you it's not the right time. Let today be the day you stop waiting and start becoming. When you finally decide, the world adjusts. Resources that were hidden begin to surface. Opportunities that were locked start to swing open. Not because the world itself has changed, but because your energetic posture has. You are no longer a passive passenger. You are an active creator. You are no longer rehearsing all that could go wrong. You are acting from a place of profound certainty, and that certainty carries immense gravitational weight. Understand this. Indecision is the cruel thief of destiny. It steals your momentum, it erodes your confidence, it keeps you walking in endless circles when you were called to take new territory. But a firm decision creates divine alignment, and alignment creates breathtaking acceleration. The moment you choose with absolute finality, your energy, your habits, your relationships, and your entire environment begin to lovingly reconfigure themselves around your new, chosen direction. Make the choice today, not tomorrow, not when things feel perfect. Now, decide who you are. Decide what you stand for. Decide what you are here to build. And then, act like it, speak like it, and walk like it. The greatest lives are not born from chance. They are carved from the marble of conscious decision. Greatness begins the sacred moment you say, "No more waiting. I choose now." That single powerful act of decision holds more creative power than a lifetime of wishful thinking. Because once you truly decide, the rest of your magnificent life begins to follow suit. So choose. Choose with divine courage. Choose with holy fire. Choose life and never ever look back. You were not born to crawl. You were born to rise. Deep within you, there is more than just breath and bones. There is a divine assignment, a sacred call that echoes through every season of your life, patiently waiting for you to answer it. The heavens have declared a plan for you, a plan to prosper you, a plan to give you hope and a future. These are not casual words. They are a divine declaration over your very existence. You are not a mistake. You are not a random product of cosmic events. You are a sacred vessel of purpose, designed with divine intention and released into this world with profound significance. The world may have dismissed you. Circumstances may have tried to confine you. But your destiny knows your name. Heaven has kept the records, and your time is not coming. Your time is now. You must begin to walk like someone who carries destiny in their very bones. Let your posture declare that you are here on a divine assignment. You must speak like someone who has something sacred and important to say. Your words should carry the weight of your vision, not the trembling fear of rejection. You must act like someone whose moment has finally come, because it has. You do not need anyone's permission to rise. What lives inside of you is holy. You must protect it, you must nurture it, and you must release it into the world. Your entire journey, with all of its painful detours and frustrating delays, has perfectly prepared you for this exact moment. Nothing has been wasted. You must believe this. Your time is now. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel more qualified. Now. When you finally step forward with a holy fire in your spirit and an unshakable certainty in your heart, you activate powerful forces, both seen and unseen. You send a clear, resonant signal to the entire universe that you remember who you are, that you remember you were not born to crawl in fear or to live in the shadows. You were born to rise. And rise, my friend, you shall.